So we got this clip going viral. It says World Series poker player Aaron Duzak was caught on a hot mic talking about his chest pain from the COVID-19 shot. I wish I never got the vaccine. I've been having chest pains ever since I had that thing. It's time for a classic Timcast debunking. That wasn't Aaron Duzak who said that. Probably pronouncing his name wrong. It was, I believe, a different player. And let's see if I have his name. It's, where is it? Jeffrey Farnes. I believe it was Jeffrey Farnes who actually said he was having chest pain. So that's my debunking. Now, of course, as it pertains to any of this, always go and talk to your trusted medical professional. I am not a doctor. I am simply here to show you a hot mic moment at the World Series of Poker. And this video is not new. This video is actually a clip from the 2022 World Series of Poker main event, day 7. So this was probably 7 or 8 months ago. But somehow this clip is only now gaining traction, so let me play it for you so you can hear what these poker players said on the hot mic. Now, interestingly, this is day 7, and I believe the winner was Epson Jorstad of Norway, $10 million prize. Wow, that's really amazing. I recently started playing Hold'em more. You know, I've always played poker since I was a little kid, but I didn't really know much or care much about it. But I always talk about how we go to the casino and stuff, so I started playing Hold'em. Yo, I'm having such a blast. I love this game. I love going to the casino and talking smack to the extent that I'm allowed to talk smack. Just be silly. Everyone's laughing, having a good time, low stakes, just hanging out. So anyway, I bring that up because I think it's kind of funny that all of a sudden, like I'm watching nothing but poker highlights on Instagram now because it's all they're sending me because I keep watching them. And then I see this video and it's about poker. So, you know, let me play the clip for you instead of wasting your time.
I wish I would have never got the vaccine.
What's that?
I wish I never would have got the vaccine.
I never did.
I've been having chest pain ever since I had that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still having it?
Yeah, from time to time. And they're saying that you get hardens the arteries. And
Yeah.
So I need to go get it checked out. But ever since, dude, it's just...
That's horrible.
It's been weird.
I held out until like a month ago. Not even a month ago.
Oh, is that right? Why did you decide to get it then also?
I wanted to come play the World Series.
Oh, they didn't have that guideline this right now.
Pardon me?
They didn't have that.
As a foreigner, you can't get into US.
Brian Kim also
That's right.
sent to the rail earlier.
It's kind of weird how they allowed that to carry on for as long as they did. But let's do these corrections. So Aaron Duzak is the guy on the left. He's the Canadian guy. So Duzak is Canadian. He's the guy who sounds very obviously like a Canadian. You can see he's talking to someone. And then near the end, you see a dude lean in who he's talking to. You can hear him talking clearly with the hat and all that stuff. That is not Aaron Duzak, who's the guy on the left. It's the other guy, Jeffrey Farnes. So there's some clarification. I'm not going to talk about the vaccine. You can make your own opinions on whatever that is. You can talk to your doctor. I'm going to talk to you about phenomena. I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts ancillary to this. And it reminded me of a phrase I've known since I was a little kid. It's a secret to everybody. You ever hear that one? It's from The Legend of Zelda. It's from the first game. When you walk in and there's some moblin, he's got a bunch of rupees, and you basically found his lair. He gives you money and says it's a secret to everybody. I never really understood what that meant when I was a little kid. I still don't know if anyone really understands what it means. It's a secret to everybody. So he didn't say from. Is it a mistranslation? Maybe. Maybe they meant to say it's a secret from everybody, meaning that nobody knows about it but you. It's kept secret from everybody. Maybe they just couldn't translate it properly, so they said it's a secret to everybody. And that means something different to me. What that says to me is that everybody knows something is true, but they won't say it because it's a secret. But everybody knows it. You get the point? That is to say, there's a song. It's called Everybody Knows. You ever listen to it? Man, really good. Who wrote it? I just can't remember who's the guy who wrote it. It's like 80s or something. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor and the rich stay rich, but that's how it goes. Everybody knows. That's what it means to me. The saying, it's a secret to everybody. That everybody is acting like something mustn't be spoken, but they all know it to be true. I am not saying anything about the vaccines. Talk to your doctor. What I'm saying is there are a lot of people who may be thinking something, but they won't say it. And only when they're caught on a hot mic do you hear how they really feel. And there's that saying, so tell us how you really feel. When a person goes off and is honest, we say that because that's the joke. You are. In this instance, we've not heard from in a prominent way this guy Jeffrey Farnes coming out on the main stage of the public world or on Instagram, as far as I know, maybe he did, and saying all of this stuff. Now, my response to this was, there are some things that people believe, and again, not about vaccines, just generally speaking, talk to your doctor. What I'm saying is there are certain things that people will believe are true but refuse to say. And only in these moments do they speak out. Only in these moments do they talk. And then you catch them. Why do we live this way? And it's because of these things that you end up with organizations like Project Veritas, seeking to capture those moments where an individual knows something to be true but won't say it unless they're in private. That's the harsh reality of life. You know, my friends, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's a half secret. If I were to tell you the truth about some things that I don't talk about, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. I mean, I'll give you an example. I was talking with Russell Brand earlier. That's going to air on Friday. Sneak preview. Check out his show, Stay Free with Russell Brand, on Friday, because I talk about this. But I said, I was basically talking about how, well, I'll put it that way, that there are certain things that people will not accept are true no matter what for tribal reasons. That if you were to tell them, they would just say, I don't believe you. The example I give, of course, is the fraud narrative in the 2020 election. Here's my position, as it has always been. For the most part, I mean, it's probably changed a little bit, but here's my position. Donald Trump lost. He lost the election. Any way you want to cut it. You want to argue that there was fraud or whatever and all that stuff. He is not the president. And for this, I was attacked mercilessly by Trump supporters, saying I was a cuck and a shill and all that stuff. But my position was that through procedure and policy changes, Joe Biden received tremendous support and advantage. And people said that's not possible. And I'm like, ballot harvesting, universal mail-in voting, come on, man. Procedural changes that were through the law that should be challenged. But the reality was ballot harvesters going to door. And what people were claiming at the time was that Dominion voting systems and Chinese ballots. And I stuck to my guns. And you know what? You can look at the view count drop off. I know that the Trump supporters got mad and stopped watching. And then the funniest thing is, a few months ago, as I maintained my position that the unilateral changes made to the election system in many states favored Joe Biden, people are now saying, finally coming around to our view on things, Tim? No, you came around to mine. Remember when they were saying that Donald Trump was going to be appointed president March 8th or whatever? And I was like, guys, no, it's not going to happen. And then it didn't. And then they said it was going to be April, and then they said it was going to be May and June, July, and it never happened. The things that people believed that back then were nuts. But I called it out. And some people want to say I'm still wrong. I've talked to Bannon about it, and I said, look, man, Joe Biden won with the most votes because they shut down sports, they shut down movies, they locked people in their homes, and they got everybody they could to fill out a ballot, a universal mail-in vote. When people had nothing else to do, they made sure of it. There was one thing. It's Trump's fault, and you fill that out, and it makes perfect sense. It is a secret to everybody. But there are many people who believe in the fraud narrative still. They believe in the grander conspiracy theories. But this is not a secret to everybody because not everybody believes that. So there are certainly ideas that different people hold. But that idea of it being a secret to everybody, I find truly interesting. That there are certain truths we all know. It reminds me of V for Vendetta. When he says, he's giving that speech on the TV and he goes, there's something we all know, that there is something deeply wrong with this country. So if you seek as I seek, and you will do, or whatever he says, I don't know. And if you will do what I do or whatever, then meet me at the steps of the Old Bailey or whatever he said. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. Good movie, though. Good movie. He basically says, we all know it, but no one says it. There is something deeply wrong with this country. Now, as for what we get out of this video, take it however you want to take it. I don't know. Talk to a doctor. But Duzak says he didn't want to get it, but he finally did because he wanted to play in the World Series of Poker. And in order to enter the U.S., it's mandated. So he did. I don't believe, for the most part, that should be, that we should require a certain, well, I say it's tough. In this instance, I don't agree with the mandates. I don't. But there are certain circumstances where I would. Would we allow someone to enter the country with Ebola? No, we wouldn't. The question is, where do we set the threshold? And the threshold, I think, is set very, very, very low because of terrified people. And I shouldn't have to live in fear because you're scared. Don't get me wrong, man. COVID's bad. Dude, when I got COVID, I thought I was dying. We had some employees a month or two ago said they thought that they were dying. Man. So I don't know, It's a secret to everybody, huh? I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I'll see you all shortly.